night one, I'm predicting is at least going to start off with the bang here with Gunther versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship here. Thoughts on this feud? Obviously, they kicked it up a notch a little bit over the last few weeks with Gunther taking out Jay's brother Jimmy and, zip tying him to a rope in the ring and making him watch as he destroys his older brother. This match could be fun. I think they do crown Jey Uso, though, in my opinion. I don't think they do this and not do it. But this is a way to kick off WrestleMania, and I think it'll kick it off with a bang. Your thoughts?
Same.
Yeah.
Go Jey Uso.
Yeet.
Yeah, it's going to be some yeet in here. I promise you that much.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be, 60,000 fans eating all at the same time, I imagine, over there at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, the home of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yep.
I think Gunther is a good wrestler, though.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The best callback.
I don't want this match to take away from what Gunther is.
No, it won't. I mean, Sami Zayn had the same thing with Gunther last year. He took the Intercontinental title from him, and it was done very well, and Gunther recovered just fine. So
Sami's another good wrestler, in my opinion.
Ironically enough, Sami Zayn not on the show this year. I don't know if he's dealing with an injury or anything after the Elimination Chamber or not. Obviously, Kevin Owens
might be taking a year off, Eric. You never know.
Let's hope not. He'll be back at some point, I'm sure. But, any other thoughts on with Jey Uso all the way around?
It should be a good one. It should be a good one.
Mike in the chat says, Jay wins or no yeet. I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
It'd be no yeet if Jay loses this because why? At that point, you just kind of stifle his rise if you do that. It would make no sense, this whole build.
He's had a hell of a rise.
Absolutely. And hopefully that will continue, and we'll make a whole new top baby face out of the whole ordeal, and that'll be the way to do it. On night one, we also have, again, this is I don't know if this is actually the way the match order is going to go. This is kind of the way I'm predicting it would maybe go. But we also got Jade Cargill versus Naomi, kind of a bit of a heated rivalry here after Naomi put her through the windshield of a car to try to, gain the, I guess, love more closer to Bianca Belair a little bit here. Obviously, after the truth come out, supposedly that Naomi did this, Bianca Belair disavowed herself from Naomi. But I still kind of wonder if Bianca Belair might be actually the mastermind behind this. We'll have to wait and see.
I'm starting to think the same thing.
I don't know, but she's kind of got her hands full on the Raw side, which we'll get into in just a minute. But maybe it comes back, and maybe Jade Cargill cost her that match at WrestleMania if she knows that Bianca was actually behind. I don't know. But how do you see this one going down? Naomi's actually getting pushed pretty well here with a little bit different of a heel character. So I'm happy to see that too. So I don't know.
I would honestly like for Naomi to win.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it works. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like this whole heel role with her, she has embraced it. And it's a side of Naomi that nobody knew was there. She's always been that, you know what I mean? That baby face. From the time she showed up with the Funkadactyls.
Oh my gosh. Old Tyrus over there on Fox News. Yeah. No doubt about it. However, I'm going to, if I had to predict though, I'm going to take Jade Cargill just because of the fact this is her first singles match at WrestleMania in her career. So that just kind of feels the way it's going to go. But
Naomi being the heel and losing doesn't really diminish anything. She could always get heat and pick it back up. So you're right. And I think the added wrinkle of maybe Bianca being involved also would help. So.
Yeah, unless maybe Bianca comes out and costs Jade the match. If that happens, I guarantee you Cargill returns the favor on night two.
For sure.
I mean, we'll have to see if that ends up playing into a factor here. Or it could just be these two ladies having a singles match on their own. And if that's the case,
I think they'll tear it up. I think they'll tear it up too. So
I think so too. So I'm looking forward to that. But I'm going to take Jade. Are you taking Jade, Dan?
No, I'm taking Naomi. Okay. I really am.
We might keep a scorecard here once we.
I say Naomi wins.
Yeah. You got any thoughts, Miranda?
Naomi.
Charlotte Flair, right?
Yeah.
We'll get to Charlotte here in just a minute.
No.
Unfortunately, she is on the show. Nothing. I mean, nothing against her
real quick. Aaron, who do you think?
Yeah, Aaron. If he's here,
Jade or Naomi? Yeah, if he's here. I don't think he's here.
And maybe he'll pipe in if he gets to him. But anyway, nice try.
Yeah.
Aaron's like, whenever he can with the kids in the background.
We'll catch him up.
Yeah, we'll catch him up. Continuing on here, we got the World Tag Team Championships on Raw. The War Raiders defending against the new heel tag team of the New Day. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. So yeah, they've basically been demanding a tag match, and which I think they got one not long back, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but they're definitely getting their World Tag Team Championship match here. Do you think they kind of continue breaking records as the World Tag Team Champions? Obviously, the New Day are not averse to it, or the War Raiders retain here. What do you think?
No, I think this is, we're going to get that New Day heel run, and we're going to see Big E come out as a manager for them. I promise you, it's going to happen.
For New Day, you think?
Yep, I promise you.
Oh,
biggest swerve ever.
Never thought of that way.
I actually agree with Brandon.
Biggest swerve ever.
Man, that would definitely be heat.
I think the New Day win this, and there's nothing against the War Raiders, because you know me, I fucking love the War Raiders. Like,
oh yeah,
but with the added talent that the WWE has now required, as far as in the way this tag team division can go, if you're going to build this division up, why not start with two of literally the pillars of that tag team division in the New Day, and them being, and the way you could manufacture these teams and push these babyface teams against these guys, I wouldn't. So I think the New Day win.
Mike makes a good point in the chat. I don't disagree. I mean, this could go either way for me, and Mike makes a good point. Either New Day wins to solidify the heel run, or Big E could also cost them the titles for payback.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So that's a good point. Maybe he joins the War Raiders, and of course, and again, the War Raiders, you've got to.
That would make no sense.
Yeah, it could actually.
I feel like
I agree with Matt.
The only way that
makes no sense.
I don't think so.
That's kind of right, because if New Day, where Big E is not going to become a wrestler, there's no payoff.
There's nothing there for him.
There's no payoff.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know how else. I mean, unless it's just a one-off. I got you, haha. But yeah, you're right. Where do you go from there, though?
Yeah.
Unless he is going to wrestle again. If that's the case, it's another story.
I don't think he's going to wrestle again.
I
think he's crushing it in what he's doing right now, and he's having a lot of fun doing it. He probably misses the ring, but I think he's crushing it, and WWE values his talent enough to do these things with him. And Big E's a smart guy. I mean, really smart guy.
Yeah.
So I think, his abilities right now are being used elsewhere. He was one of the best ones on the stick in this group, and they all could talk.
Yeah, exactly.
So
as for the winner, I'm going to take New Day, because I think they will just legitimize the heel run.
Yeah.
Personally.
Makes sense.
War Raiders had the titles. It's been a minute.
They've had it for a while.
Not been the greatest of reigns, but just not done a whole lot with them.
No, but you got to think about it too. Like, they splintered off the tag team division, and they're slowly trying to build it back up. I mean, they're doing it with Montez and these guys on SmackDown right now, which they deserve those titles. They were one of the best tag teams in NXT.
Yeah, they're not losing to Machine Guns on Friday Night SmackDown.
No, and I love the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah, but no, it's too soon. It's too soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm taking New Day here, and that's where I'm going to go with it.
New Day Rock.
Also on night one, we got Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, which I don't know about you. Yeah, this is working for me too. I don't. I mean, it reminds me of Hulk Hogan doing the Mr. America gimmick, which is
and the Blue Blazer, by
the way,
from
the Blue Blazer, things like that. It's not been the first time. And of course, the fact that they're playing this up, that he's not Chad Gable, right? And of course, Chad Gable is known for saying, thank you. So El Grande Americano comes out and is like, gracias. Or instead of saying shoosh, he'll say silencio. So it's killing me, man. It's absolutely hilarious. So yeah, I hope El Grande Americano, I'm assuming, gets the win here, because I mean, Ray could, and maybe Ray unmasks him. Do you think Ray unmasks him, or do you think it's too soon for that?
I think it's too soon. I think I think he wins. El Grande wins. Americano wins, but then Ray wins, and then you further the story to where it's a mask v mask, because Ray's like fed up because he knows it's Chad, and he's like
SummerSlam, maybe.
Yeah, and then that's when, because I love this gimmick. I hope they don't end it soon. Like, I want it to continue.
Not yet.
Chad is crushing it. Like. Yeah. I feel like he has been so underrated and gone under the radar ever since they broke up American Alpha back in the day when they did that storyline with Jordan and
Underrated tag team too, by the way.
my
Yeah.
God. So was the gold standard though. The original American Alpha.
Then they had to make
Hot.
Jason Jordan the son of Vince McMahon or something like that,
Yeah.
or whatever that was.
No, it was son of Chris or Kurt Angle.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That wasn't good.
Chad was like the spitting image of Kurt Angle, and I'm like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here?
Why are we doing it with Jason Jordan?
Yeah.
That is like
But to further the Kurt. Oh, go ahead, Matt.
That's like a fate worse than death as being Kurt Angle's son.
That's not bad. That's terrible. Kurt's awesome.
Then you come out to you suck every day.
But
so does Chad, technically.
I know.
Yeah. But again, I think this whole storyline, Chad, like I said, I think we just underestimated his ability. He's wrestling a style that he is foreign to, legitimately, and pulling it off.
Yeah, Lucha Libre, yep.
He has had banger matches, and it's just going unnoticed. And
it's been fun.
Under this mask, it is fucking awesome to see. Like,
and to further the Kurt Angle comparison, remember when Kurt Angle lost his hair and he kept wearing the wig with the wrestling gear on? So it's kind of something similar. I mean, you knew it was Kurt, but I mean, everybody knows this is Chad Gable, but the whole gimmick is it's not Chad Gable. This is a whole new guy, right? Who just happens to come out with American Alpha at times and stuff,
Yeah.
Have
you ever seen Americana and Chad Gable in the same room at the same time?
No,
you have not.
In fact, we've seen them both on camera at the same time. Chad Gable was doing an interview, and El Grande Americano was in the back getting assisted by medical trainers and stuff.
Can't be him. It can't be him.
It can't be. There's no way it's him. I mean, but I don't know why. So yeah, Americano is the way I would book it. Now, if Ray gets it, I get it. But like we said, I think it's a little too soon. For the gimmick to kind of go away. So yeah, give this one Americano, in my opinion. El Grande Americano. Yeah, maybe that's just my loyalty to my country talking. I don't know.
America.
I love it.
It's awesome. Moving on though, on night one, we've also got LA Knight defending his United States Championship against the werewolf Jacob Fatu,
the Samoan werewolf.
My apologies, the Samoan werewolf.
Jacob wins this hands down.
I would assume so. I mean, yes, LA Knight didn't get the title not too long back, but at the same time, just pushes Jacob Fatu to another level.
Fatu, since he has shown up, has crushed it. And now that we really got to see like a lot his personality, not just the solo I love you, but like his real personality. Of
promos from him.
Yeah.
All that. Yeah.
They're gritty, they're street. They're what Solo's promos were in NXT. What Solo was being billed as. Like he was this prize fighter, this street fighter. Jacob is that, but turned up very loud. And I love it. And I didn't know this, but Jacob is a huge LA Knight fan.
Really?
Like, there's some videos going around of where he attended WWE shows before he became a wrestler there. And he's in the crowd just marking out for LA Knight.
No kidding. So this may be a bit of a dream match for him
as
well.
So
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
But I think Jacob wins this. Jacob deserves this. He was the biggest standout in that new bloodline. Don't get me wrong, Tama Tonga is my man. Yeah. But Jacob Fatu, legit.
Yeah. Well, not only that, I think this also furthers the storyline of maybe the jealousy of Solo Sikoa if Jacob Fatu brings home gold and Solo doesn't have any. So, yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but Jacob Fatu looks like the wrestler that nobody wants to wrestle.
Well, he's scary as hell, man.
Like, look at him. Like, he's like the dude that you walk in there and you're like, man, I got to wrestle this guy.
This man destroyed Braun Strowman easily. And
Look
Strowman's no small man.
You know what I'm saying? Him during the
it's like Jacob,
and that was my introduction to him. And I looked at Brandon. And I said, "Who is that?"
Jacob Fatu is the definition of a Samoan, and he's like that perfect mix of Roman, but very Umaga-y. When Umaga was,
see that.
Yeah. So like, man, I was super excited to even show you guys Solo or Jacob before he debuted in WWE.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, Jacob is awesome to see. Like he really is.
No, that's not a slight to LA Knight. I feel like we're kind of
No,
burying him a little
way,
bit.
shape, or
LA
form.
Knight's great. I mean, even if he retains, I'm not going to be mad. I just feel like it's the time to put it on Jacob Fatu, you know. And LA Knight he'll be fine without the title. I mean, he's so over. It's not a problem, even though I think it has come down a little bit, the popularity of LA Knight, but I think it's still there. So I think it'll
not
be just
far
fine.
enough for him to disappear. So
No, not at all. So yeah, I think this only benefits Jacob Fatu. So can't wait to see that. It's going to be a hell of a fight, though. It's going to be fun. Also, apparently it's night one. I forgot. Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. Obviously, this has not gelled well on camera at all, and apparently off camera a little bit. Some rumors going around and stuff about how they've basically not really getting along too well.
But
so
that could
hopefully
also
they'll
be
do
one
business.
of these situations of where this is all made up. The rumors and all that shit is bullshit, but it furthers the narrative of what's going on between the two of them.
Especially on SmackDown.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say because especially on SmackDown last night, they were talking about Charlotte apparently attacked her before the show started in the parking lot, and they suspended, I don't know about suspended, but they told Charlotte to take the night off to cool off. Well, of course, Charlotte showed back up and it continued the beatdown later on in the show. So it's kind of playing into the fact that these two can't get along backstage, but it's still tying into the overall story. So to your credit, yeah, exactly.
But no, I don't know. That shit she said at the end of that promo last week.
About Kaiser being her DMs. Yeah. About being 0-3 and married. Yeah.
Man, that shit was personnel.
Yeah, which led to the Kaiser comment. So this might be a sleeper match. I mean, both ladies are talented enough to pull it off. It's just the build to me is not really hit. The chemistry between the two has not been there.
Do you
and
think
I think we agreed on
Charlotte?
I it's part of it, and then I think the fans kind of getting on Charlotte's case has not helped. Which she's kind of obviously been affected by. So there's that. But even before that, though, like just when the backstage segments where they were filming it, just didn't feel like there was much substance there. But apparently this was a match I think Tiffany Stratton wanted. I think it was something that she kind of was like, it's a dream match for her. So if the rumors are true and they actually don't like each other now, that kind of sucks if that's the case. Which kind of maybe lends to which might lend to your theory there a little bit. Maybe it's not true. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Mike said
not going to watch this match. So
no, not a Charlotte fan, huh? No, I don't blame her. I mean, I get it. It's just she's been over. It was like Roman Reigns for a long time, just too much shoved down your throat and overexposed. But it worked out for Roman.
I think that's what it is. I think
why wouldn't Paul want to go be the voice for some woman? That'd be interesting. Something new. Why not? Mike said about LA Knight, does not see it being a good night for LA Knight. I agree with you there. And he says Tiffany Stratton wins or we riot. Yeah, because this goes all the way back to the Royal Rumble that me and Mike went to. Why would you let Charlotte Flair win another Royal Rumble just to have her win this title? She doesn't need it. Just like we talked about LA Knight a little bit. Charlotte more so doesn't need the title. Tiffany needs it. Not to say Tiffany wouldn't be fine at this point too, but it just doesn't make as much sense to make Charlotte win this.
And I feel like too, with a proper build-up, a proper story, a year-long story build-up between Charlotte getting to that point to get to Tiffany would have made way more sense, and probably wouldn't have had the backlash that it has right now because of it.
It probably didn't help that Charlotte was injured, which played into that a little bit. But you're right. It would have done better for it. You're no doubt about it. So, yeah, I'm taking Tiffany. Everybody, Tiffany across the board?
Yeah, Tiffany. Yeah.
All right, it better be. So we'll see what happens here. But, yeah. And, of course, to end night one, obviously the triple threat main event match with Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. This has a little bit of storyline going into it coming off of Raw this week. On Raw this week, Seth Rollins approached Paul Heyman and reminded him basically that, Roman Reigns wasn't there for him when he got put through the table. CM Punk's not been there for him at times, and he even got so far as to get in Paul Heyman's face, which led to CM Punk showing up and defending Paul Heyman here, which led to a brawl, and then, of course, Seth Rollins curb stomping CM Punk into the mat. And then as Paul Heyman was tending to CM Punk, Seth Rollins went for a curb stomp, but then faked it out and did not deliver it to Paul Heyman. And that caught Paul Heyman by surprise, the fact that he did not deliver the curb stomp to him. And that's when Seth Rollins took the microphone from Paul Heyman and said, now you owe me a favor because I didn't bash your head into the ground when I could have. So this is leading a lot of people to speculate that could we potentially see
Yes.
Paul Heyman turn on Roman and Punk and join Seth Rollins now, which.
But Miranda said it best, and she caught me off guard with this comment. She goes, but Seth doesn't need a mouthpiece.
He doesn't.
And she's
You're right.
100% correct. He does not.
Yep.
But Paul offers more than just a mouthpiece. Paul offers presence, prestige, and the way Paul builds up his guys makes them seem larger than life.
Mm-hmm.
Look what he did for Roman. Look what he did for Brock Lesnar. Like,
yeah, if he ended up working for Charlotte, I ain't watching it no more. Because I couldn't stand to hear him talk about her.
You'd rather see him with Seth, I imagine, then, in that case?
Yeah,
I know you don't want him to be with CM Punk, because you're not a Punk fan either.
You know what? I'd rather see him with Punk than Charlotte, though.
Fair enough. But
I don't like hearing I don't like hearing Punk talk. So if he wants
and to Brandon's point too,
and
to Miranda's point, actually, she's the one who made it. Seth doesn't need a mouthpiece, but Charlotte really doesn't either. Now she has in recent memory because the fans were booing her so much she couldn't get a word in edgewise. So maybe that would benefit Charlotte, maybe not. But yeah, with Seth though,
a whole new mouth.
Yeah, well, it's got a whole new everything, but
yeah,
here's the
totally.
thing. With this match though,
she's a refund.
Yeah.
Again, Seth is not wrong in what he said to Paul.
No, he's the only one telling the full truth, in my opinion.
He's right. Roman didn't save him from the bloodline. Punk has not been there for him when he's needed him to be there for him. And then when he is there for him, he owes him. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's only for benefit Punk. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, brother, I have been saying this shit from the jump. Seth Rollins is the only good guy in this whole.
That's what I said last week. I'm like, they're all jerks, but at the same time, it's like he's the one I want to root for the most because he's actually the one telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I agree. Now, do I think CM Punk's probably going to win this? Yes, because it's his first and only main event, if you want to consider night one the main event. But it is a main event, I will give you. So it's hard for me to believe that they won't let him win this because of that. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'd be thrilled if it was Seth Rollins because I feel like, in a way, he's kind of gotten a little bit of the shaft when it comes to these three guys. Seth's been on the lighter end of it, and the other two guys are getting more of the spotlight. Yeah. So that would be great. What's your prediction?
Got complex and intertwined, but so well.
Yeah, it makes sense, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole CM Punk favor being in Punk's corner, and now obviously, the history of Punk, kind of bringing the Shield into the company. Obviously Paul Heyman's been with maybe not Seth, but all the other two guys throughout his career. So yeah, this is all interwoven. So it deserves the main event spot. It does.
It's legitimately, think about it. We went from Roman and Tyrant, the Roman and Cody 2, Cody defeats him, Roman disappears, but still very fucking relevant, comes back, does this whole new thing with this new bloodline situation. Then you interweave Seth Rollins and then CM Punk. And the way that now at the epicenter, Roman, just like in his picture, is still in the middle of this whole thing, manipulating and scheming as he does. But you have Seth Rollins, who their whole relationship goes back to the start of their careers together, which on the other side of that is CM Punk, who came to the company, tore down fucking walls, said what he said, disappeared for 10 years, comes back from a rival company, and then ties into your A story because he's the guy that put those two guys on the map in the first fucking place.
Yeah. So, yeah, you got to give him credit. I mean, I don't know if it was always planned like this, but it worked out like this.
Brother.
Yeah, which is what I'm hoping will maybe happen with the Moxley-Ospreay situation. We'll see what happens.
I understand what you're saying with that too. And like I said, your story, I would have loved to see play out because the way you laid it out.
And if it plays out like this, I mean, that's gonna be hard to top with all the history involved here.
Yeah.
But either way, this should be a good ending to night one, no doubt about it. But yeah, to pick a winner though, I guess I'm going to go with Punk still, but I would love to see Seth.
I'm going Rollins.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with Roman too. This could go either way, anyway. But
Yeah.
Matt, any thoughts? You're kind of listening.
I am listening.
Mm-hmm.
My thoughts on this is pretty much what Brandon said, that Seth seems like the only good guy here. I think CM Punk is a pompous jackass, and that's just
Bit of a punk, maybe.
This guy over here, whatever his name is. Yeah, he's just kind of like this asshole that shows up like, I'm kind of in charge of you two assholes.
Talking about Roman?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then Roman. From what I've watched of Roman just likes to bully his way to number one.
Yeah, that's what he
Kinda.
did.
And
He did for 4 years.
That's just kind of how I feel about
He just
Roman.
don't have a lot of help anymore.
First of all, I love the fact that Roman comes out and everybody holds their finger up. I think that's the coolest.
It's a sign of respect
right now. I think that's awesome that he gets his fans.
It's them acknowledging him, with the ones.
That's the thing. You got to think about.
And
that wasn't a thing before with him. People hated Roman Reigns. It was like there was nothing he could do, good or bad, that people didn't shit on.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
And then
the bloodline happened, and even a little before that.
Yeah, it was before that. It was the leukemia thing. You found out this guy was literally battling cancer for the second time. And when he came back, and it was it The Fiend versus Strowman?
Something like that. I can't remember.
I can't remember his pay-per-view. I know that. And he just demolished those two. That right there, and then being seen talking to Paul Heyman, just set this whole thing off.
Blossomed the whole last 5 years or so. Yeah, it's great stuff. But yeah, I think this match is going to be great. Mike in the chat says, I think Herman, I think he meant Heyman, somehow screws all three over. How? No idea. Why not? I mean, because maybe he's just fed up and like, I'm done with all you jerks.
He's tired of being used.
I'm tired of it. Maybe he brings, somebody in and destroys all three of them. I don't know. Maybe
that's what it would, that roof?
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. The lid would fly off
make Mike happy as all hell.
If Brock Lesnar shows up.
Yeah, Mike would hate that, as a matter of fact. Yeah. But no, I don't see that actually happening. The whole, trial thing and all that stuff going on.
I would love to see Seth Rollins win this match, but I know it won't happen.
No, I think that's who I want to win. Seth is who I want to win. Narrative wise, it makes sense, but also CM Punk winning simply because it's his first WrestleMania main event win.
Even if he don't win, he's still getting the main event spot. So
I remember in the Royal Rumble when Joe Henry just stares down Roman Reigns and tries to pick him up. And I looked at Brandon and I said, I would buy everyone in the room beer if Joe Henry eliminates Roman Reigns. But I knew that wasn't going to happen, so I just went with it.
Yeah. Well, that'll do it for night one, though. Any thoughts on night one? Do you think it's a good lineup for the first night?
Yeah.
I actually think night one on paper may be the stronger night. But that's just me. But we'll see if that ends up being a good. That's not always the case. Sometimes wrestling can surprise you, and when you think it's not going to be as good, it can sometimes be even better than what you anticipated. So we'll have to wait and see. Now for night two, though, and we'll wrap up wrestling after this. But the second night of WrestleMania, second biggest, I guess probably the biggest night of the year. These two nights, obviously. I'm assuming this is no indication of the order of the matches, but I would maybe start the night off with Bayley and Lyra Valkyria challenging Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Bayley and Lyra Valkyria won a gauntlet match on SmackDown last night to earn the opportunity against the Judgment Day members. It feels a little bit like patchwork tag team with Bayley and Lyra for me, so I would probably let Liv and Raquel keep the gold. But eventually, they are definitely laying teases out there that maybe Judgment Day is going to be Splitsville before much longer, which it's not been as prominent in my eyes since Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley left the faction. But I think Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, especially, and Liv, have done a really good job of keeping that group together. So, but with Liv and Dominic kind of eyeing Finn Balor, kind of like, can we trust this guy? This may explode in the Intercontinental title match later. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Trade him.
Yeah, but yeah, maybe. but for this match, though, I could see Liv and Raquel retaining. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that's the smart way to go in this one.
If you think you could get something better, then you trade.
Well, maybe. I mean, in this case, you got Lyra Valkyria, who was obviously the women's Intercontinental Champion, and Bailey's no slouch, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It would definitely be different. Like I said, just a little makeshift for me. I just feel like it makes more sense.
But
booking-wise.
you can make it work, though.
You could. You
Especially
absolutely
if this is you're trying to help build Lyra's star power.
Her
Bailey
aura
is a great choice to do it with.
Yeah.
Bailey's literally one of the ultimate baby faces, even though she did have her little heel run with damage control, and she was,
and it was good. Really, it wasn't bad. Yeah.
So but I think given time, her and Lyra can be great together.
Yeah. They have decent chemistry together.
Yeah. Liv and Raquel was a hell of a pairing.
At first, I didn't think it would work either.
Raquel has pulled since she's come back. Awesome work, by the way. And Liv has been killing it ever since they broke up that group she was originally in with Ruby and Sarah Logan.
Yeah.
Valhalla.
Now Sister Abigail you're right. Valhalla.
This is Valhalla.
Yeah, my bad. It's the wrong one. Yeah. That's Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So keeping the tag belts on them would work for a while. It really would. They're that great heel. You have that Valley girl who's backed up by her bodyguard. You know what I mean? What they're trying to do with
muscle.
Yeah.
It's like Shawn Michaels and Diesel back in the day.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
That's the way I looked at it with these two. Yeah.
So yeah. But I think it'll be Raquel and Liv.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on a little bit here. We got Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, which has now been turned into what they're calling a Sin City street fight. So it is going to be violent, these two guys.
Yeah, these two are going to beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, Drew McIntyre literally put him through real glass on a car not too long back, which apparently got maybe even some glass in Drew McIntyre's eye for real. He come out with an eye patch last night, and then he ripped it off, said, I'm 100% cleared. So he's ready to go here against Damian Priest. So, this is going to be a fight, no doubt about it.
They're going to beat the shit out of each other.
I think, if you ask me, I think you book Damian Priest to win this, though.
Yeah.
As much as, again, another one that could kind of go either way, in my opinion, but Damian Priest kind of needs it more.
I have Damian Priest winning that match.
I want another best of 7 that we got from Sheamus and Cesaro, from two big guys who ramped it up every match they had. I want another one, and I think you could do that with Damian and Drew.
Which makes
it a real rivalry between the two of them.
Which is kind of a side note, too. Surprisingly, Sheamus is not a part of the Intercontinental Championship match, which I thought was kind of weird. I don't know if he's dealing with an injury again or what, but I thought that was kind of surprising. But that's
because he was in the mix.
Yeah, a little bit, and he came back and was kind of going at it with Braun. AJ Styles with Braun a little bit too. Now they got AJ doing this other thing we're going to talk about in a little bit. But
I want him.
Maybe they'll come back to Braun with AJ and Sheamus. I don't know, but I just thought Sheamus winning the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania would have been cool. But Other side note, Mike said, I think Bailey turns on Lyra Valkyria because she wants the Intercontinental title, the one title that Bailey has not won yet. I didn't know that. So it's kind of like a Sheamus situation with Bailey not winning the Intercontinental title. Well, technically, the Intercontinental title has not been around very long for the women, but obviously a lot of women have not won that title yet. So I guess in that regard, but I guess that would be the one.
But she's held every other title except that one at this point. So
fair enough. So we'll see how that goes. But that's a good point.
But heel Bailey again?
Maybe, yeah. It would be kind of a quick comeback to the heel part of it, but I don't know, unless fans just cheer. Maybe she's a baby. I don't know. That's interesting. But for this year, Damian Priest is my pick. What do you guys think?
I'm going Drew.
Yeah. I know Drew was kind of voicing his opinion a little bit on Twitter or X, talking about how you could have added him to the Roman Punk, Seth Rollins stuff because he's got history with all those guys.
Yeah, but I think he's the character now.
You think so? Maybe just complaining he's not in the main event.
Aggressive, angry person who contradicts himself because he says he's going to lead a better life and he's not going to be this whiny. You know what I mean? But yet he does that.
Yeah.
And again, he's
starting to remind me of somebody in real life that I just cannot stand.
Oh, brother.
And you better get his shit together.
Well, it's kind of like too, like I mean, Kevin Owens was always right about what he was saying. Seth Rollins, we pointed out, has been telling the truth. Drew's kind of doing that too, but Drew kind of puts a little more excuse
Drew,
on it.
Here's
You know
the
what I
thing.
mean?
That's
Sometimes
the
it's hard
drawback.
for people to get
Drew
their
doesn't
shit
take the
together.
accountability for it. Like
Right. Yeah.
Jimmy
Mhm.
said
But
it. You lost.
You lost, exactly. Like last year at WrestleMania, this also goes back, in my opinion, to WrestleMania last year. Remember, Damian Priest cashed in on Drew McIntyre last year.
Oh
The Money in
yeah,
the Bank
that is
briefcase
right.
after CM Punk attacked Drew McIntyre because Drew McIntyre was running his mouth. So
Yeah.
this does tie all the way back to last year, which I got no
Jeez, I
problem.
forgot about that. Yeah.
I know. So this is actually not
Yeah,
as
and Drew lost that
unrelated
match.
as it sounds.
Drew
Yeah.
You know
lost
what I
that
think,
match
Eric,
because of
you know what
Drew.
I think?
Yeah, and he was again throwing an excuse like everybody else did it, not me. So yeah,
I
so
think this match
This
will
is
last 30 minutes.
but it ain't gonna last 30, maybe
It's
20.
going to
I
last
give him
30
20.
minutes.
I give him
And it's
20.
just going to be them beating the living crap out of each other
Street
until
fight.
one can't stand. And then I'll be
Is it
asleep.
just a match?
It's a Sin City street fight, so it'll probably be all over the
God.
stadium, I'm sure.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. And I will be asleep.
I'll be busy for that one.
I'll be asleep during this match.
Oh, it's not as that bad. I think it could be fun, depending on what they choose to do. That's what it's always going to hinge on. Depends on
It'll
what
be
spots they got
interesting.
planned. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, moving on, we've got the Intercontinental Fatal 4-Way match for the championship. Braun Breaker defending his title against Dirty Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Penta, who is a newcomer, getting his Intercontinental Championship opportunity here.
Go,
This
bro.
could go.
Like, I'm so happy for Penta. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and Ray
But
Phoenix,
here's the
I'm assuming
thing.
it'll be in the Battle Royal on SmackDown, but yeah.
Yeah. Here's the
For
thing.
now.
I'm gonna say this, and
Mhm.
this is gonna be a controversial decision. Dom wins that title.
You know what?
You
And
wanna
it
talk
could
about
again
somebody-
further the divide between him and Finn.
Yes, but you want to talk about somebody who's been killing it in a role that he's been embraced
Yeah.
and put in.
What they've
It's
got him
fucking
doing.
Dominic Mysterio,
Mhm.
Eddie Guerrero.
He plays
Jr.
that role too well. If I was
Yeah.
his mama, I would feel.
And a
Mm-mm.
lot of
about
people
his
hated
wife?
it, but I love it. Yeah, his wife too. Yeah, he's had to be all over Rhea Ripley and now Liv Morgan too.
Yeah,
His wife
but
has got to be an understanding
as
woman.
a mama,
You want to fight him?
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
mm,
But the role that he's in, he's pulling it off to a T.
Oh
And
my
there's
God,
no
he's
denying that.
nailed it.
And I think this match could very well, as we alluded to earlier, see the demise of the Judgment Day with Finn and Dominic. You know, obviously Finn could definitely go back to doing the demon stuff if he wanted to, or he could do something
They've
completely
already
different, but on
teased
his
something
own.
like that. Did you see in the background of one of his is the demon? The
Yeah, they've been
logo
kind
for
of teasing a little bit. Plus, they put the Demon Finn Balor in the new WWE video game. That could just be
Yeah.
because it's kind of a legacy character, or could that mean maybe they're contemplating bringing that back? I don't know.
I love the demon character.
Demon's great. I mean, if they go that route, I'm not sure they will, but that's a whole different
There
discussion.
is not
You wanna
a
turn him
single
face?
bit of that man.
If you want to
that's
turn
good.
Finn Balor face,
That's the way to do it.
that's the way to do it.
I still think you do it for special occasions, but
Yeah,
so we'll see how it goes. But Penta could win this. I'm not saying he won't. It might be a little too soon for him, but I could totally see Braun Breaker just retaining here too. Did you see the spear
I was about
that
to bring it
Braun
up.
Breaker did on Carlito last Monday night?
Can you pull it up?
It'd be copyrighted. We couldn't do that.
Damn
But
it.
I don't know if
He
there's a picture
speared-
or not. Let me see if I
He
can pull the picture.
speared the Miranda. It was on the entranceway. Carlito was coming up, and Braun Breaker's running at him. He leaped, I don't know, a good 4 or 5 feet away from him.
Yeah,
Braun had
full speed.
Jumped, and hit him so high, but so hard, he drove him into the mat, like the floor, like a railroad spike. Like,
oh my
it was
god!
fucking insane.
I mean, I would show the video.
Wasn't Breaker the one that speared Speed too?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
he's got to mean
Yeah. I mean, he is. Yeah.
That
just
spear
scary.
he did, the speed
that
was crazy.
clean.
The spear he did to Carlito was fucking
This is the
insane.
best I've got, but
Man.
this is the angle at which he hit him as he jumped in the
Oh
air.
my god!
He was coming down he jumped so high. It was. I'll put it this way: I had it on. I was on my computer, and I had it on one of the side screens here. I was half paying attention. I was like, "Okay, here comes Braun." I look up. This man is running at the speed of a locomotive, and it literally made me go, "Oh my god!" You know, just jump out of my chair. absolutely great. So
Yo, Carlito's tweet is fucking crazy.
thank you to everyone for your thoughts and prayers. My funeral service is scheduled for this Friday. So yes, this was
All
outstanding.
See, I saw that.
Man.
I saw
That's
that.
why.
Had no idea what he meant.
My family asked for privacy during this painful time. Muchas gracias. So, yeah, absolutely great. So yeah,
he got fucking annihilated with that spear.
All right, I'm gonna go find the video.
Yeah, it's even better
Oh,
on
here
video.
it is. Oh my god!
Told you.
Your discretion is advised.
Braun Breaker is a beast. So yeah, I don't want him to lose the belt. I
No.
don't, but I agree with Brandon. Dominic Mysterio could be the play here. Just to rub it in, you
Braun
know.
could chase that title or move him on to bigger things.
Oh yeah,
Again,
Braun could
you gotta
go for
remember,
the world title.
That's what I'm saying.
Matt, have you
John
seen it?
Cena is the
that
guy.
title.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. Oh my God, him and
What
John
if he knocks off John
Okay.
Cena, the heel John Cena, if John wins the 17th world title? I mean, yeah, I mean that could be a lot of fun, no doubt about it. So
that spear he had on Speed, though, that was one of the
yeah,
cleanest.
Speed's lucky he didn't get a concconcussion out of it.
Speed's
Lucky I didn't get more than a fucking cousin.
Yeah,
He got ran the fuck over.
Lucky he's not in a body bag.
Cleanest.
But moving on, we also got the situation with Randy Orton, by the way.
Oh my God. I can't wait
As
for
of
this.
SmackDown last night, he still does not have a WrestleMania opponent, despite RKOing SmackDown general manager Nick Aldis last week. But there's been a lot of speculation about who could Randy Orton be wrestling. Obviously, Nick Aldis, Brandon mentioned last week, is a potential thing since he RKO'd him. We got Malachi Black or Aleister Black and Miro/Rusev in WWE coming back to the company. So it could be one of these two guys as a surprise thing, kind of like when John Cena had to wait and see if Undertaker was going to wrestle him that year, or Seth Rollins when he had to wait and see if it was going to be Cody Rhodes or who was going to be the surprise WrestleMania opponent. Could be one of those situations. There's also some speculation with the TNA partnership. Maybe Jeff Hardy ends up coming over and wrestles Randy Orton. But I think after what they did on SmackDown last night, there was a tag team match that ended the show with LA Knight and Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. Ended up with Jacob Fatu coming out and obviously attacking LA Knight to set up the United States Championship match. But that also led to Solo Sikoa and Randy Orton fighting in the crowd all the way to the back. So I think what's going to happen here is Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa at WrestleMania. So if this happens, what do you think? Solo Sikoa, who obviously I was stunned he wasn't even on the card already, to be honest. So this would be a great match, but the build is obviously due to Kevin Owens' injury.
You're 100% correct. It would be a great match. But here's the thing. I think Solo is best set for this thing with him and Jacob. I honestly think it could be Nick Aldis. And I think you're right in the sense of like Randy comes out, demands he wants his WrestleMania match. Somebody come out there. And could you imagine if you get the Rusev, but not Rusev in the sense of Rusev, but you get the Redeemer.
Yeah, the Redeemer Rusev. Yeah, you can still make that work. Yeah, as long as AEW don't have copyrights to the gimmick. But either way, Rusev Day, you could book it like the Redeemer, just call it something else.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But I think that would be, first of all, it would be fucking insane. I don't think you do Aleister Black. I think you save that for after the dust settles on the World Championships, and then he either goes to Raw or SmackDown, and I think you debut him there. Rusev, though, I could see, and especially to put him on SmackDown. If you get Rusev on SmackDown, Aleister Black's going to Raw. That's that.
Right. So,
but you could also get Nick Aldis.
And what about Aleister Black to maybe lead the New Judgment Day?
Yeah.
That could be something too. I mean, maybe Liv brings him in, him and Dominic. Finn's on the out.
Him and Finn
sets up Aleister and Finn.
Oh yeah.
But there's a lot you can do with that. Yeah. But yeah, maybe not here. But yeah.
No.
I just got this feeling.
For Nick Aldis.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It was just Solo and Tama Tonga come out and cut a promo on Roman or Randy Orton to start the night too. Part of me just feels like that's the direction. I could be dead wrong on it, and maybe a surprise is more fun. Maybe they do that. I mean, but yeah, I mean I just feel like this is the match.
Yeah.
But
and it would be good.
Yeah, don't be wrong. It'd be a hell of a match. In that case, I'd hope Solo would maybe go over to kind of give him the rub. But Mike said in the chat, someone said, why not Uncle Howdy versus Randy Orton as a callback to Orton versus The Fiend from WrestleMania 37? You could do that. I mean, for whatever reason, the freaking, Uncle Howdy and the White Six
the White
have
Six
been
haven't
missing
in it.
for ever since they got moved to SmackDown. They've not been on the show once, so I don't know what's going on with that faction. I really don't. So whatever that may be causing that problem, but yeah, that'd be another good option, no doubt about it. There's a lot of ways you could go about this, but if I'm a bet man, it's Solo Sikoa, so I'm going to take that. But
yeah, I think you're right. Solo, I think Solo would benefit more from winning if that's the case.
Yeah, I agree too. So, but yeah, we'll wait and see on that one. But that should be on night 2. It's not scheduled for a night yet, but I'm guessing that's it. Since
my
that
God,
would even up the nights. Now,
Miranda's also not watching this match.
AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Again, kind of a feud. It's not really had a lot of legs to it. Karrion Kross has obviously been trying to get under the skin of AJ Styles. I could see him maybe getting involved in this somehow or another. And maybe Logan Paul getting a victory here. There's an interesting video going around of Logan Paul talking with Triple H online, talking about how he's on like the card for WrestleMania, the poster, the banner for it, and he's on the edge and he was afraid he's going to get cut off. And Triple H is like, well, if it was up to me, you'd been cut off completely, but we tried to get that done. It didn't happen. I don't know if it was like a troll thing or if it was like something backstage that literally showed a little bit of heat between the two guys. I don't know.
I think it'll probably play into a whole story with Logan. That's hilarious.
If you haven't seen that, look it up. Hunter looks dead serious, and Logan's like, "Okay, sure, boss." It was weird, but I don't know. But yeah, I think Logan's done a great job. So with the limited amount of experience as he's had, and doing his WWE career. So yeah, thoughts on the winner of this, Logan? I'm gonna take Logan just because
Logan Paul.
AJ maybe help him get over.
Yeah, but yeah, and if Karrion is involved, because what the story they have going, and people want Karrion Kross back in the ring, but they want the old Karrion Kross, and I think that's what you're going to get.
Let's hope it works this time.
Brandon,
NXT with Karrion Kross before.
Yeah,
Brandon,
what?
There is a special place for wrestlers like AJ Styles, and it is on NXT. Helping younger wrestlers learn how to wrestle.
AJ still got a lot of gas in the tank, and he is still one of the best wrestlers in that ring. When the lights go on and the bells ring.
I still wouldn't mind personally.
To hang it up.
I still wouldn't mind personally. I don't think it's going to happen, but I wouldn't be upset if AJ Styles after his contract's over goes to AEW for a while. Because there's some matches there I wouldn't mind watching.
I could see him doing that.
Kenny Omega.
Yeah, I don't know. He said and you're right. He said he wanted to retire after his contract was up. He wanted to go.
Yeah, so he may not.
He did, didn't he?
No. That was what he said.
He was hurt.
He retired.
No,
he was hurt.
Yeah.
Just like Uncle Howdy was. Apparently, Mike said in the chat, Howdy has been hurt, so that explains the absence. Okay. Kind of sucks for the rest of the crew, but yeah, without Howdy, I guess the gimmick doesn't work as well without the little ringleader. So, so there's that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. This could be a sleeper match. It really could.
Yeah, it could still be a good match. I mean,
this could be like one of your Randy Savage, Ricky Steamboat situations. Yeah. It really could. I mean, yeah. Mike said also in the chat, should have been AJ Styles versus Joe Hendry for the TNA title. Champion versus TNA original. That could have been fun.
No doubt about it. Fun too. Didn't Joe Hendry got hurt though?
I want to say, yeah, I thought I read somewhere he relinquished the title, if I'm not mistaken.
If
I don't follow TNA as much as I should, but
I believe in Joe Hendry.
But this could be a lot of fun. And, of course, the final 2 matches, let's get into it so we can move on here. We got the Women's World Championship on Raw, the triple threat match with Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair and champion Io Sky. I want Io Sky to win this because she has been getting disrespected, basically by these 2 women. Yeah, and she kind of got shut down. Now, interestingly enough, she got shut out of the way again this last Monday night on Raw. She did a springboard dropkick to Rhea Ripley, which looked like she hit her so hard she could have got whiplash. But what happened was Rhea Ripley, her face slammed into Bianca Belair's shoulder, and apparently Rhea Ripley now has a broken nose. So she's going to probably end up having to wrestle this match in a face mask. So that sucks, but she's done that before.
Yeah.
So I think she just did it
that is
a year ago. I don't know. But,
okay.
This girl needs to stop getting hurt.
Yeah. I know.
Ripley is one tough ass woman. And
I would wrestle on a helmet.
Yeah.
So yeah. But no, I mean, I just feel like Io Sky could use it more than the other 2 ladies. Again, I kind of keep going defaulting that. That's my logic. But at the same time, the whole Jade Cargill situation could be a factor with Bianca Belair. And of course, everybody loves Rhea, so everybody would love to see her with the belt again, no doubt about it.
Yeah, but I think Rhea has hit that point where she doesn't need a title. Rhea is one of the biggest female role models alongside Bianca
I
for
agree.
sure, like hands down.
Yeah.
And Io,
He doesn't need the title.
everybody loves Io. Io is that cute little quirky. She's going up against two behemoths of women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
She's the underdog technically here a little bit. She
yeah,
really
and
is.
she's a champion. So I
But
think you're right.
the disrespect is too far. And as Mike said in the chat, Io Sky has to win this to show she's not a disrespected afterthought.
Yes,
Agreed. That's the route you have to take here. Io Sky
Mm-hmm.
needs to. Now you could do it like she barely pulls it out, whatever, fine. But getting the W is the most important here for Io Sky, in my opinion. So, but yeah, she's definitely not an afterthought. She's got all the talent in the world. But this is a way for her to show it on the grandest stage
Io
of all.
is so good, and it sucks because Asuka hasn't come back yet,
Mhm.
and like, but Io is now in that role where Asuka was,
Mhm.
and like you love to see it. But when Asuka comes back, and if Io's still the champion,
Mhm.
what you could do with that whole story between these two women is what they tried to do on SmackDown when Asuka was champion there, but it was
Mhm.
short lived.
Right.
You go for the second round now with a returning Asuka, and I think it'll be great.
Mhm.
I
Well,
think it'll
no,
be
think about this too. Asuka out. You know, Sasha Banks is no longer around. She's in
Mhm.
AEW. And then, of course, you got Becky Lynch also has
Mhm.
been out, obviously, to take care of her child and stuff like that. Even recently said that she doesn't know when she'll be back. Of course, she could be playing a little bit of a red herring there,
Mhm.
but may say not right now. But her husband's still wrestling. But who'd have thought that with those three ladies out, WWE has built a solid women's roster to where they don't even need the other three ladies right now.
Yeah, nobody
It's that
missed
good.
Charlotte when she was gone simply
Yeah,
because
Charlotte was again
you
another
had
one.
Rhea Ripley, you had Bianca Belair, you got Jade Garga, you had Naomi, you had like you had.
They're building up the women's division, and that's great.
Yeah,
Under Vince, that never happened. You had 2, 3, 4 ladies
Yeah.
tops, and the
yeah.
rest were just afterthoughts. Not anymore. So again, good booking on Triple H and the new board of directors or whoever's running the show over there for sure.
Yes. Good job,
But yeah,
Dwayne.
Io
And
Sky.
again, I love Rhea, I love Bianca, but I think for me, I think Io Sky wins this.
Yeah, I do too.
What do you think, babe? I know
Any
you
other
like
thoughts?
Rhea.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
No, I think she's thinking.
Oh.
That's a tough
And
one.
no, I usually just have to agree with you because, yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
want Rhea to win, but
I mean,
it's
you're not wrong. I
probably
mean,
gonna go the way
again,
you
it's
said.
all of
Because
these
of
matches.
the why you said.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
and
makes sense.
and our logic is pretty sound normally, but again, WWE has booked all their talent in such a way
Mhm.
in every single one of these matches. Any option is actually on the table.
Yeah,
It's
and you
not
could see
off the-
where a story pivots
Yeah.
from either option.
Yeah.
right. So it's not like this is
Yeah.
definitely going to happen this
Mhm.
way. And that's in my opinion a sign of a healthy and thriving professional wrestling company or
Yeah.
sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it in this case.
Whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Is when you have that option to go either direction.
Yep.
And it makes the fans go. Anything can happen at any given. And I guarantee you,
Mhm.
despite our logic being pretty sound, we're going to come back in 2 weeks' time, maybe talk a little bit about this, and we're going to be wrong on a lot of these.
For sure.
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Probably at least half.
Yeah.
Because they're going to throw that curveball that we don't see
Mhm.
coming. So, and that's how good
Yeah.
wrestling should be. Now, speaking of throwing a curveball, I think the obvious here for the main event, the
It's
biggest
Cena.
match of the year of WrestleMania is John Cena versus Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship here. Obviously, it looks like it would be John Cena based on the story they're telling, winning his record-breaking 17th championship as a heel, playing off that for the next few months, and maybe leading into his final match in December, whether or not he's going to leave the company with the championship, and that makes the company have to create a new toy because the real title is gone. That means a good storytelling there. Or this could legitimately solidify Cody Rhodes in that, even though it's only been a year's time, in that potential Roman Reigns, Hulk Hogan, John Cena level of champions in the echelon of WWE history.
Yeah.
So what? Obviously, I'm thinking it's been a year for Cody. He's had a long story for the last couple years with the Bloodline and
Mhm.
winning the title, finishing the story. I think it's time for John to win the record breaker. I really do, based on the
I
story.
think John wins this, and you run off the story of him doing exactly what he says and retiring with the title to make it, so he wants to ruin wrestling.
Mhm.
And I think you let him.
Yeah, for a while.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
And then it kind of like with the Mox situation or the Roman Reigns situation in the past, you build up that next person, whoever that might be, and
to take it off of him.
you take it off of John before
And
the end of the year.
Again, if
Save the company.
Cody's the one to do it, then he still accomplishes exactly what you said, as solidifying himself as one of the biggest baby faces, and champions of the company.
Yeah, the most in history, world title runs. Yep.
2 birds, 1 stone. Yeah, you take down the guy who's held the most championships in this company and who was going to ruin it. But I think you also use this time to bring back or introduce a new belt, period.
Yeah, you could.
I think you give John that title to retire, and then you bring a whole new championship back.
And then you kind of start fresh, wipe the slate clean, move forward about that point a little bit. And of course, I don't have the picture here, but the obviously the wild card is whether or not the final boss, The Rock, will show up during this. He's not been on television since John Cena turned heel and sold his soul to The Rock, as it were. He's kind of been he's basically an afterthought in this whole storyline with Cody and Cena. The Rock has not been involved, which to me belittles a little bit of the heel turn for John Cena. It was a great heel turn, don't get me wrong. But if The Rock would have been a bigger part of this build to WrestleMania, it would have made this even bigger than what it is now. Now, you could also argue it doesn't need The Rock because this is big enough as it is. But since you did the heel turn with The Rock there, obviously The Rock's schedule or whatever it might be could have been a factor in that regard. I just feel like that would have made much more sense storyline-wise since you did the heel turn with him. So, thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, you're right. I believe you. But, like, I also still think, too, that, like, using The Rock sparingly will also benefit if that's the case.
True. Very true, too. If he shows up here, it's going to be a big, oh, my God moment. And, of course, there's obviously been comments from Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was unable to appear during the Bloodline Rules match last year and Undertaker took his place, that Austin would be available this year. So if Austin were to get involved with The Rock, another big moment, and kind of even the odds for Cody Rhodes. So, yeah, that could be still a lot of fun. So we'll have to see where this goes. But, yeah, I think at the end of the day, like we said, Cena's going to win the title. Not to mention the fact that if you look at John Cena's schedule for WWE appearances, before WrestleMania, he's got the Friday night this coming week, WrestleMania SmackDown, and then he's got WrestleMania, and then he's got loads of dates going in the end of April and into May. So he will be on a lot of wrestling WWE shows after Mania. So that kind of tells you, in my opinion, he's walking away with the title. Otherwise, he wouldn't necessarily have to be there. So,
and this makes all the sense, though. It really does.
Yeah,
so
I really do, and it makes sense in the world. So that is our WrestleMania predictions, ladies and gentlemen. What do you guys think about WrestleMania 41? Are you guys looking forward to it? I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, pro wrestling, but with the biggest show of the year, WrestleMania, even people who don't watch WrestleMania have heard of WrestleMania. Thank you for checking out this clip of the Dragon's Den podcast. If you like what you saw here, please consider checking out our full podcast on Saturday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to follow, comment, like, and subscribe. And until our next video, guys, take care and God bless.